Hello everybody and welcome to ReZero Director's Cut episode 3 anime review. Before we get into it, there's no new scenes still, and I think we were expecting this. I think people might be getting a bit impatient, but it's gonna be in the second half. I'm gonna go out on a very strong limb and say it's gonna be on the second half. I looked it up. There wasn't very many changes this week. The biggest one was probably the final shot. So that's the point we're at. So yeah, that's where we're at. Honestly, it's the final shot. That little thing. You know what it is if you watch the episode. Maybe you don't, but I'll get to it at the very end. Isn't that exciting? Anyway, not gonna dilly dally because, as always with these hour-long episodes, I don't want to be here for 30 minutes talking about stuff that came out 3 years ago. So let's get right into the episode. Skim through it quite quick. Let's do this. Subaru wakes up in an unfamiliar place, which is not good. He walks down the corridor for a bit, which is looping. Why is it looping? Did they ever mention that? Is it just so he can't escape? But anyway, he walks into Beatrice's room. We learn her name later, so I'm gonna say it. Her name's Beatrice. We walk into her room. She's funny. I've completely forgot about this part. Honestly, I forgot he met Beatrice before Rem and Ram. So, that was, at first I was like, is this new? But then I was like, actually no, it's just, I forgot as it turns out. She wrecks him a little bit by collecting his mana, and then he goes unconscious again, which, that's assault, Beatrice. You should stop that. I'm not going to call you that anymore. I'm going to call you Biko because it's shorter. He wakes up again and just wants to sleep. He's like, it's morning, it's too early, I'm going back to bed. Rem and Ram insult him a little bit, as they do. Amelia shows up. They try and get Subaru into trouble by saying he did the naughty to them, and she's like, stop it, girls. And it's like, but what if they were telling the truth, Amelia? I mean, other than the fact that about 10 seconds has passed since he woke up. But you can't trust Subaru. Look at his eyes. That's a bit harsh. Nah, I'll take that back. There's thanks. Subaru thanks Amelia. Amelia thanks Subaru. Does anyone else do no thanking? No, I think it's just them two. They do a load of thanking. After that, they do some exercise, victory, and all that. That was the most lame victory ever. I'm not going to do it because my throat's going. My throat's always going, and it's quite late, so I'm not gonna do that. Puck shows up as well, and Subaru starts petting him and stuff. And then he, being Puck, tells Amelia Subaru's got no malice, and she's like, "You're a weirdo, Subaru. You're a nice guy." And Subaru still doesn't know why she's weirded out that he's a nice guy. Yep. The twins come and get him and say that Roswell is back. Who's Roswell? It turns out. See Biko again. She's being nice to. She completely flips at Puck. I completely forgot that. I remembered she treated Puck better than the others, but it's like, whoosh, I've completely forgot it was like that. It was pretty impressive, honestly. Subaru meets Roswell and thinks this is a clown and starts smacking him on the back. I'm like, Subaru, you can get people have got executed for less than that. You silly. Subaru. My notes here say seduces, but I meant deduces. My notes say seduces the twins. I meant deduces that the twins are different. They're like opposites. Like, you're good at cleaning, you're good at cooking. It's not quite that way. Rem's better than Ram at everything, although Rem's better than everyone at being a waifu. So yeah, I'm not going to get into that argument, but Rem's the best, so that's where we're at. I've lost myself after that. Subaru here's lore, basically. Here's what's going on with the kingdom. Also, Amelia could be the next king, so have fun being queen, I guess. Subaru. The insignia is important, and then Subaru asks to be hired at the mansion, and that's one way to get a job, I guess, because they're like, we owe you one thing, Subaru, and they're like, give me a job. I would have asked for a lot of money, a horse, a jet, but they don't have jets, so a horse, I guess. And I would have asked to never have to work again and a mansion of my own. It's probably not within their power, but it's what I would have asked for. So yes, now that Subaru is officially a member of staff, that means that Ram can start calling him Barasu, which is closet one of my favourite things in the show. It's just her calling him Barasu. Every single time, there is not a moment she doesn't call him Barasu. And it's really, even in the serious parts, which we'll get to later on, I'm not going to say what it is just in case. Barasu, he's Barasu. And then carried over to Quartet, he's Barasu as well. God, it's weird watching Quartet, and then this on. I said it yesterday, but it's weird seeing happy-go-lucky Subaru in Quartet, and then here it's still happy-go-lucky, but he got his head crushed, so less than good that. Check out Isekai Quartet review as well. Anyway, the clothes they're getting him don't fit, so Rem's gonna make some own, some custom ones. So she takes his measurements. Ram shows him around. He accidentally finds Beatrice's room again, and then she throws him out, and then he finds it again, and they learn about her. She guards the magic library because Roswell's a very magic person, so he's got magic books that are very dangerous. Oh, that was a mouthful. I should have learned to take more breaths. Later on, Subaru helps Ram all day and is tired. That happens off screen because chores are really not interesting. You don't want to see Subaru doing chores. Rem brings his custom clothes, and that's fine and all that. Subaru sucks at cutting food and stuff, which is also, no, it's not yet. I was going to say something, doesn't happen yet. Never mind. Sucks at cutting food, sucks at everything. He's not very good at his job. He would get fired after the probationary period, I think is where we're at with that. After that, Ram reports to Roswell about Subaru. It's one thing I've never got, really. Like, what is their relationship? Like, I know why what they're doing. It's not exactly what it looks like. I've seen the show before, but I'm confused as to what exactly their relationship is. Like, is it Ram wants the Roswell PP? Is it something else? Does Roswell want the Ram PP? Not like that. It's what exactly is it? That's what I'm. It's one thing I've never quite got, but it's definitely it's a weird thing. Basically, she tells him about basically Subaru. It's like, if he's a spy, he's an idiot. So basically, it's what we're at. Amelia's doing the spirit thing again and says Subaru's watching, and shout out to Subaru, by the way, just being an absolute flirt, and Amelia completely no-selling it. Every time. She's like, stop. Not even stop, she's like, you're just joking around. She doesn't even even think for a second that he's serious. Although then later on we learn that she thinks he's about 13, so there's that. Or is that in the OVA? That might be in the OVA. She thinks he's about 13, so there's that. Anyway, she says she says he should have more ambition when he asks for stuff, and he's just like, I just asked for what I want at that time. And I'm like, that's one way to live your life, but you should also plan ahead, Subaru. The situation you're about to get yourself into is because you didn't plan ahead, or sort of. I guess he sort of did. She sees his bandages of him working hard, and he's like, I don't want to lose my fingers. I don't want my wounds to heal, because then it's like it never happened. And it's like, yeah, I get that, Subaru. That makes a bit of sense. Subaru then recruits her to get some revenge on some kids that were picking on him, because Subaru's a child. She agrees, and it's a dato. Then that night, he briefly says hello to Biko, and I do mean briefly. He's like, hello, and she's like, goodbye, and gets rid of him. He goes to sleep, excited for the dato. The next day, he wakes up, and oh no, he's returned by death, as they say. Shock horror. Subaru dies in his sleep. Bad sleeping posture. The window was left open, and a breeze caused him to hypothermia to death. I have no idea what could it possibly have been. He choked on his blanket. It could have been anything. Got stuck underneath, and there's no air. In fact, there's any number of things that could have happened to him. Second half of the episode, and where the next episode would start on normal days. We'll call it that. So yeah, it's like none of that happened. That first episode completely irrelevant for anyone other than Subaru, which I liked it. I forgot. It's like, this is kind of where it hits him, that like exactly what it's doing. It is completely erasing everything he built in that week or whatever. Is just gone in an instant, and I like that. I like that the consequences aren't Subaru's death. It's literally like how he said. It's like a checkpoint in a video game. Everything you accomplished, like he's got the memory of it, but it didn't happen. So it's like, and you're playing a video game, you get a checkpoint, you get a bit further, you die, but you know what's coming up, so you're prepared more next time. It's exactly what it is, and I love it. It's good. Where have I got to? Yeah, he runs away briefly. The twins are there checking on him, and that's where we are. he runs away and ends up in Biko's room because he's just got this uncanny ability to get in there somehow. Didn't even explain the Biko's room, but they explained it in the show. Basically, magic door leads to her room, and it's a different door every time or something, and he could just figure out where it is. There probably is an in-lore explanation for that, but I'm not going to look that up because it might be a spoiler. I don't know. So yeah, he calms down after thinking a little bit, realizes that okay, and all that. He heads out, banters with Amelia. Basically, he's trying to hit all the same plot points as the first go around. Which, Subaru, are you aware of the definition of insanity, my friend? Because this, I got a feeling we'll get back to insanity later on. But yeah, he doesn't get measured and has to help Ram beforehand, so like things have gone different. Rem keeps, throughout this part of the episode, just keeps glancing at him out of the corner of her eye like that. It's really off-putting, to be honest. Like, if I was Subaru, I'd be really put off. I'd be like, do you mind? Like, what have you got to say? Like, legit, just say it. I'm not gonna get offended. What is up? And then she would have been like, your hair sucks. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, Roswell bathes with him for a bit and says that he belongs to him, and then he bites him. Subaru does the biting because he's like, I'm not going down without a fight. He goes outside, Ram's right outside. She insults his pee-pee, so she calls it like that thing. I can't remember what she calls it. She's like, put that thing away, you know, like a proper old lady. Ram has got no drive for that, so you know. Subaru, your harem dream's not quite coming true, but actually it's not really his dream. Anyway, I'm again off-putting. I'm going loose. What's the word? I'm going off in a direction. That's what I'm saying. Basically, Ram says she'll be round his room later. Later on, Subaru clearing his mind, meditating. He's like counting Amelia's, and then he realizes that's a bad idea for clearing his mind. Ram's basically going to teach him how to read and write. It's not anything naughty, you dirty men and women, or women. You know, I don't know who you are, or people of third gender. I have no idea. Ram's going to teach him how to read and write, basically. Why? And then she shouts at his scribbles. Why he didn't be like, no, it's the writing of my homeland. What does that word mean? And I will equal it out, so I know that this equals this. Surely that's how you would do it, but who knows? And then she basically reveals her motivation, or what she says her motivation. She's like, the more you can do, the less I have to do, which is an absolute like me move. Like, I'd be like, yeah, that's how this works. That's the only reason to teach anyone to do anything, is so you have less work to do. Which, life lessons here. Probably not the good life lessons to learn, but I'm teaching them regardless. While studying, Subaru bares his soul a little bit. However, Ram has fallen asleep on his bed, which is a dangerous move. Ram could probably beat him in a fight, but Subaru's not incompetent in a fight. He could probably overpower her. He wouldn't though, because he's a nice guy, but you know, he probably could. I guess Ram feels safe around Subaru, or she knows that maybe it's a trap. Maybe Ram's fallen asleep, waiting for Subaru to do something, and then Ram's going to be like, look, he's bad, let's fire him. It's a trap to get Subaru fired. Plot twist. Yeah, he's got his new suit again. Rem doesn't want any more clothes because the main outfit's fine. I'm like, Rem, wear some more clothes, damn it. You know, I think as far as I can remember, she does only wear the does she only wear the maid outfit? I can't remember honestly. My brain's fried a little bit. In Quartet, she wears a bikini. Does that count? Probably not, right? That probably doesn't count. But anyway, yeah. Then he's still not good at doing his cutting, but he is learning. You know, he sucks at first. Then he's like, yeah, I know. I'll do what you told me, and he does. So you know, you can teach an old dog new tricks and all that. Rem keeps glancing, as I said. This is where we learn he needs a haircut because his hair's bothering her. Later on, she comes around to apologise for earlier, and he's like, I'll forgive you as long as you give me a haircut. So good stuff. Then he goes to the town with her shopping. Also, he's researching date spots for his big old dato with Amelia. There's the kids are there picking on him. The dog bites him because he's not a dog person, I guess. On the way back, Rem and Subaru chatting on the way of chatting on the way back. Subaru's a fan of demons because apparently God doesn't do nothing, which, you know, I'm not going to insult anyone's faith or whatever. But that's Subaru's point of view, not mine. Rem gives a big old smile, which is like, I do kind of like it because it sort of like mirrors the Amelia smile from the first episode, you know, the first part of this episode. It was good. And then later on, Amelia came to his room to help him study, and he's like, okay, he knows this. He's not going to get no studying done. He's an awkward, stuttery mess, and his heartbeat is the word. He asks her for the dato, and eventually he convinces her it's the same as the first time around, basically, and they have a bit more banter, and then the credits roll. Credits roll quite early, and it's like, oof, we know what's coming. Post-credits scene, that's what's coming. Thanks, Marvel, for that. So he's staying up, so he makes it through that night this time, but he drifts off, wakes up all dizzy. It's vomiting. He's been poisoned, is what I'm guessing. I'm assuming. As he's crawling through the place, the mansion, trying to find help. Weird. You'd think with a mansion that big, they would put the servants' quarters near each other, so he could be like, Ram, someone help me, Biko, please. Also, like, her bed's in a library. Could you imagine sleeping in the library? That's, you know, that'd be kind of weird, I think. Just a weird place to get to sleep. Be very odd. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, then he gets attacked and loses an arm, which is less than good, and his head gets crushed, so Subaru's dead again. Also, his eyeball rolls along the floor. I'm pretty sure that's new. The eyeball's new, I'm pretty sure. It was a bit grim. I was like, oh, look at all that blood. Oh my god, there's an eyeball. It was like, why? Why do that? There was no need for that. It was grim. I love it. Not really. But yeah, that was the end of the episode. Good stuff still. And again, it is kind of weird doing these reviews because, you know, I've seen it before. But at the same time, it's been long enough that it's still a brand new experience. Not brand new, but I can still have stuff to talk about, and I'm enjoying doing it because I'm glad they did this re-zero. They missed the chance to call it that, and that's, you know, that's not okay. Re-zero is what it really is. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm enjoying this. As I said, I think the new scenes, I'm trying to remember what they are. Like, I know there's the big one, and people who've read the light novels, as I said, you know what the big one is, but I'm trying to remember what else wasn't included. Like, I think there might have been some stuff with Biko, but like, maybe that was in. I can't remember. Anyway, rambling as always. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. I'll see you next week for another episode of this. Subscribe and stuff to the review. This is the review channel. The main channel is what I meant to say. There's content over there as well. Check out the Isekai Quartet review as well, because it doesn't have very many views, and I'm begging for views now. That's where we're at. I will see you next week, as I said, and bye guys.